Hi, Bayside kids. I am so glad you can join me today. Today, I am going to tell you a Bible story found in the first book of the Bible, the book of Genesis. The word Genesis means beginnings, and the book of Genesis is about the beginning of the world. Today's story is one of the most famous stories in the Bible. It is the story of Noah's Ark. You know, with a big boat and animals 2 by 2 and lots of rain and a flood, then a rainbow at the end. It is such a big story that we are going to tell it in 2 lessons. You will hear the story of how Noah builds the ark this week, and next week you will hear about the flood and how God saved Noah and his family. Let's start. In the beginning, God wanted to make people to be his friends. But first, God had to make a place for his friends to live. So he did. In 6 days, God created a world filled with oceans and rivers and mountains and valleys, the sky and the stars. Then God filled it with plants and trees and birds and fish and all of the animals. Then God created his special friends Adam and Eve. God made a beautiful garden for them where they had everything they needed. Adam and Eve were very happy for a time. But one day, they disobeyed God and they were forced to leave the beautiful garden God had made for them. Adam and Eve now had to work hard to get food and other things that they needed. Adam and Eve had children, and their children had children, and their children had children, until the world God made was filled with people. But the earth was a very different place than God had intended when he first made the world. Many of the people had forgotten God, and when they forgot about God, they forgot about being good. The people did not want to obey God's commands. In fact, they thought about wicked things all of the time. You would not want to live in a world like that. God looked down upon the world he had made, and it made him sad. He was sad that the people he had made only wanted to do bad things. But there was one man who was not like the others. His name was Noah. Noah was a good man. Noah would not do all of the bad things the people around him were doing. Noah loved God. One day God spoke to Noah. God told Noah that he was going to destroy the world and all of the people in it with a flood, a great flood that would cover the whole earth. But God told Noah that he would take care of him and his whole family. So he told Noah to build a big ship called an ark. When the flood came, Noah and his family would be safe in the ark. God told Noah how to build the ark. God told Noah to make the ark 450 feet long. That is as long as 1½ football fields, and 75 feet wide. That is wider than most streets, and 45 feet high. That is as tall as a 3-story house. The reason the ark had to be so big is that God wanted to save all of the animals from the flood too. So the ark had to hold 2 of every kind of animal on the earth. God told Noah to make the ark with 3 decks and lots of rooms to hold all of the animals. God also told Noah to fill the ark with all of the food that his family and all the animals would need. Noah did everything God asked him to do. Noah and his sons started building the ark right away. It was a very big ship, so it took a long time to make. Noah and his sons had to make the ark very strong, so they used big trees for the timbers. They had to make the ark watertight, so they were very careful when they fastened the planks to the sides so it wouldn't leak. The people who lived near Noah and his family saw that Noah was building a boat, and they asked him about it. So Noah told them that God was sad that the people of the earth were always doing bad things. Noah told them that God was going to send a flood. But the people did not believe Noah. They did not think that God would send a flood. They thought Noah was crazy, and they laughed at him. But Noah kept on building the ark just as God had told him. One day, the ark was finished. God told Noah and his family to enter the ark. God said in 7 days he was going to send the rain to cover the whole earth. Then God sent all of the animals to the ark. 2 of every kind of animal went into the ark. Can you imagine what that might have been like? A long line of animals marched up to the ark 2 by 2. There were 2 lions, and 2 zebras, and 2 rabbits, and 2 giraffes, and 2 turtles, and 2 tigers, and 2 penguins, and 2 elephants. 2 of every living thing came into the ark. 2 of every insect, reptile, bird, and animal. Soon the ark was filled with animals, and all of the animal sounds and smells. Noah and his whole family must have been very busy making sure that all of the animals were in the right place and were comfortable and safe. Noah and his family were ready for the flood that God was going to send upon the earth. So that's our story for this week, kids. Join us next week and you can hear the rest of the story of Noah's Ark. Bye-bye.